Let me get everybody to mute their mic. Let me record this.
You said mute your mic?
Yeah, I'm gonna get everybody to mute their mic. And all right, peace and black power, everybody. I want to welcome you to another NCRBGZ Productions. Tonight we got a nice show lined up. The name of the show is The Aftermath of the George Floyd murder. This is the aftermath of the George Floyd murder. With that, I have some esteemed panel members up here today, and we're going to discuss some topics. And like always, I want to thank y'all for taking the time out to watch the video live or to play back. Remember, give us a thumbs up, like the video, leave a comment, tell your friends about the channel, let them know that we be going live and we have nice discussions. And with that being said, I want to give my panel members the opportunity to introduce themselves to the family and let them know who you are.
Yeah, right back. And peace, family. It's your brother Nabak Kafafreye Amunureye. I'm just a student teacher, and look forward to the discussion.
This master you, like my brother Nabak said, I'm just here looking forward to a great discussion and hopefully find some solutions.
My name is Dr. Remesu Amunre, and I'm just being open-minded about this conversation and seeing which way it goes.
My name is Harold Parker. I'm the inventor of the world's first digital license plate, out to try to, innovate the transportation industry and also make it a safe place for our environment. And I'm here to just, try to get input and also share some ideas with the brethren. Peace and love to everyone.
I have everybody introduce themselves. One brother ain't introduce yourself yet. Unmute your mic, brother. Xavier, you gonna introduce yourself, brother? You gotta unmute your mic.
Hey, what's going on, brothers? I'm Xavier. My bad. I didn't know my mic was unmuted. Was still muted. Man.
All right, that's what's up, brother. I think y'all not everybody know, the hot budget subject, what's been going on with our brother George Floyd. Y'all know what's been going on in Minneapolis. Last night another brother was killed. Right now it haven't been confirmed who actually killed the brother. From what I saw, according to the people in the streets, they said it was a police officer. But when you look at the news said it was somebody else that killed the brother, and it sparked a riot wherein a lot of stuff got burnt down, a lot of looting was happening, and it's like the peaceful protest has turned violent. It seemed like it was a turn last night where it went from being peaceful to now being more of a violent protest. So with that being said, now that we have had a couple days to digest the initial video to see what was happening, we had time to digest it. I said that it'll be best if we come up here, we have a discussion to talk about the video, talk about the death of the brother, also talk about the police officer, the one who actually had his foot on his neck. Not to mention, now that we have seen other videos, we see that it was.
Hey, bro. My bad. I don't mean to interrupt you. I'm finna come in on my phone because this phone about to die.
All right, no problem.
So,
Just sign in.
and I can't even hear on this phone.
Okay, yeah, just sign in. Just sign in.
I'm finna sign in on my phone.
All right, no problem. But you know, we get to see we was able to see another video, and with the other video, we was able to see that from a different angle, that it wasn't just that one police officer who was on the brother. It was actually 3 police officers that had him pinned down. And so that's a little further insult to injury. And you know, with that being said, before we jump in there, because I know everybody want to jump in and we got solutions, but I want to play a video, and I want everybody to look at it and then give me y'all feedback on what y'all see and what y'all think about it, because it's very sickening to me what I saw. But you know, we'll see. So I'm gonna share my screen, and we're gonna let me see, where is it at? And we're gonna get it on. All right, here we go. Oh, that ain't the one. Here we go, right here. Now, what I'm sharing is the brother that recorded the lady in Manhattan. He the bird watcher. Well, I guess the brother done got some fame, so I'm just playing this and let y'all listen to what he has to say now.
Said in part, I want to apologize to Chris Cooper for.
Hold up, y'all. Let me start it off. Here we go.
You're on yours, you know, let me log in. Your Facebook, I don't really want to log in Messenger because you're on yours. Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, they don't want me to play it. All right, y'all hold on. Bear with me, man. That's crazy. Hold on, y'all. That's crazy. They don't want to play it. All right, well, you know what? What I'm gonna do, we're not gonna dwell on it. I'm gonna bag out of it, refresh it, and but basically the brother Christian Cooper, the lady Amy Cooper, the one who he recorded, she apologized to him. And what I wanted y'all to do was hear. So let me share my screen again. Let's try it again. It should work now. I wanted y'all to hear this, and it's real, it's not fake. And just see what y'all think about it. Do y'all think it's, you know, it's time for this, or maybe it ain't time for it, you know? Or what the world?
Is your credit card debt stressing you out? Take control. A personal loan.
All right, here we go. Here we go. The brother accepts the woman apology, and not only do he accept that he has something to say. So
Amy has issued an apology that said in part, I want to apologize to Chris Cooper for my actions when I encountered him in Central Park. She says, I reacted emotionally and made false assumptions about his intentions when in fact I was the one who was acting inappropriately by not having my dog on a leash. I hope that a few mortifying seconds in a lifetime of 40 years will not define me in his eyes, and that he will accept my sincere apology. Do you accept her apology?
I do accept her apology. It's a first step. I think she's got to do some reflection on what happened, because, you know, up until the moment when she made that statement and made that phone call, it was just a conflict between a birder and a dog walker. And then she took it to a very dark place. And I think she's got to sort of examine why and how that happened. And I want to move it a little bit beyond her, because it's not really about her and her poor judgment in a snap second. It's about the underlying current of racism and racial perceptions that has been going on for centuries, and that permeates this city and this country, that she tapped into. And so that's what we really have to address, you know, not the specifics of her, but why are we still plagued with that, and how do we fix it?
Okay. I guess Not only that, he said that he didn't think that the woman should lose her job, man. He says I wanted him to say it himself, but um he also condemned death threats against her and said that he was uncomfortable with defining someone by a couple of seconds of what they've done. And he was basically, the brother said that she shouldn't lose her job. So he was, to me, he caping, man. So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen, and I'm gonna give y'all an opportunity to comment. And my personal opinion is, I think that it's a time and place for everything. So I don't think right now is the place to be the time to be accepting no apology. I think that sometimes you gotta let people you gotta let it burn. Like Usher said, you gotta let it burn. I think sometimes that, in the wake and in the climate of what's going on right now, I think apologies is one of the last things that we need to be doing as African Americans, is apologizing or accepting apologies, because this is something that we always do. Soon as something happens, we quick to show that we the better person and want to accept apologies. Me personally, I think that may be something that he could have done, but maybe later on. I don't think he should have done it as soon as he did. That's my piece.
I don't think that I would have ever accepted the apology, because number one, her intentions was wrong. It does define her character. What comes out of the mouth come out the heart, because a person had to have had this in them the whole time. It just wasn't something spontaneous that came out. Nothing, something doesn't derive out of nothing. So her whole meditation and thought of who she is, and the power that she had in her to call the police was already in her. She had probably thought about this even before now, by calling the police, because it was an instant thought for her to call the police. She didn't think at all. She just straight up said, I'm going to call the police and tell them an African American, you know? And so, no, there's no mercy on that. It is a reflection of her character. She's saying that strictly so people will stop giving her the death threats and her facing the consequences. Um, well, it's apologizing. That's definitely out the window. I think even to the fact that the young man, he was in his own apartment, and the police officer came in there and shot him dead. He was an accountant, but yet here it is, the brother who other victim that got shot, he ended up hugging the judge and hugged her. Hell no. I'm gonna tell you something. I was the last couple months, and I thought about it, and it really took me some digging deep to cool down, just to be able to kind of get, because the things that's happening now is outrageous. It's an insult to our intelligence as a people, not just human, but as a people. Uh, you know, and so it took me a while to really, really calm down and to begin to think, how can we counteract these kind of things? To every action, there's an equal opposite to reaction, So, yeah, she should suffer the consequences. We should not be having mercy. I think part of this is because of I don't know what religious background he got, but I think that this type of attitude and mentality have been implemented and just been institutionalized in our demeanor and in our mentality, that we should forgive someone when they do wrong to us. That's what we've been taught all our lives. This is what they use in slavery to justify their wrongdoings, and for us to make them feel comfortable in doing it. Another thing that I want to say, and I know this is not talking about her, but I often hear people on the videos calling the police bruh. No, you're not my fucking brother. My brother would never shoot me. My brother would never hold my neck to the ground. My brother would never chase behind me and kill me. No, you're not my fucking brother. You're my fucking enemy. And I want so bad to kill your ass. So, no, you're not my brother. And you had to call a spade a spade. But the thing is right now, is that what I'm seeing is people keep apologizing, protesting ain't doing it. It's enough of that. It's total enough of that. We don't want your apologies. When you do something, you need to reap the repercussions straight up. Because guess what? If the shoe was on the other foot, guess what? They will be doing the same thing to us. You know, it's all fairness. It's just straight fairness. It ain't no hidden agenda, no motive, or nothing like that I have. But I'm just calling a spade a spade. You need to reap what you sow. Do you never learn from things? If you know, it's just like if your mother told you don't put your hand on the eye of the stove. You go put your hand on the eye of the stove. What you gonna do? You're gonna get burnt. Okay. The second time she tell you, I bet you don't go put your hand on the eye of that stove because you already know there gonna be consequences. That's my take.
Hey, peace. This master you, brother Harold. Everything that you said, I completely agree. One thing we have to understand is just like the laws of nature. And people, you know, you got rules of man, you just have way that nature goes. And with that being said, you'll never see a spider apologize to no fly. You don't never see that happen. But when it comes to us, you know, especially black people, we always want to be very, very, very forgiving. And a lot of that I contributed to being as a part of religion. And so, as this woman said, she said, not one moment shouldn't define her act of judgment. And that's one thing, you get mad at work and somebody piss you off and you say some words. Okay, great. But what she did was put on a whole Academy Award performance on the phone about what happened to her. There won't no one-time thing at all. She did that with the intent of to have this man, to me, that's attempted murder. Point blank period. Because if the cop really came there and shot and killed him because of what she said, then what? Are you still gonna say that you sorry? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Again, people have talked. This is how Emmett Till got killed. This is how countless other black men and black women got killed, even over smaller things. So no, I don't accept your apology. I don't care if you're fired. I don't care. Don't call me. Don't send me no apologies in the mail. Don't send me nothing. Always go in the trash, and it all can be set on fire and burned. Point blank. Period. I don't care, because it's one thing, because your intention was not to. Her intentions was evil from the gate. That's the whole point. Your intention was to kill me for nothing. All I asked you to do is put your dog on a leash. So me asking you to put your dog on a leash, your rebuttal to me is I'm gonna kill you by having these cops come here. I'm gonna tell them that a black man is. Oh my God, he's threatening me in the park. Oh my God, please hurry up. Come on now. No, I don't forgive you. I don't forgive nothing. I don't forgive nothing that you. No. You can put me on TV. I said what I said. I don't care. I don't care about her. I don't care. I do not care, because in that moment, you know, that dude, he could be a father. That's someone's son right there. Get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I mean, get what I'm saying? And so she didn't care about his life at all. But for some odd reason, this is not an attack on religion. This is not an attack on religion. But I will not sit there and worship anything that tells me that when my slave master beat me and knock my head on the ground and rape my wife and do all this funny stuff, that I'm supposed to turn my other cheek and I'm supposed to say, you know what, I forgive you, because you know what, he gonna come save me. Well, that saving ain't came yet. So until he get here, I'm not forgiving you. Now when he come and I see him, he do something about it, then we can talk about forgiveness. But until he come, I don't see that. No. And that's my piece on it.
Yeah, that'll show the shooting. Yeah.
I got you. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, bro. We hear you.
Okay. I was trying to make sure. I had got disconnected for a minute, so I don't know what's the topic. You know what I mean?
We're talking about the brother who was in the park and a white woman called the cops on him. He accepted her apology. She apologized and he accepted it and said that he don't think that her life should be torn apart because of that one bad decision. And I'm giving everybody the opportunity to respond and say what you think about that. What's your thoughts on that?
I think that I really think that the government, somebody is paying these people to say these things, because there's no way that, I mean, you do something bad to me and I'm gonna forgive you that quick. You know what I mean? For instance, like George Floyd fiance, she got on TV last night and said that that she wouldn't want people to act like this, and George Floyd wouldn't want people to act like this, and that she want everybody to forgive the cop. I'm like, she had to get some money for that. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't get it. You know what I mean? I'm like what bruh said. I don't know his name, but it's beyond forgiving. You know what I'm saying? But that's my take on it, though. You know what I mean? I think somebody paying these people. I mean, because you got to. I'm not a conspiracy person. You know what I mean? I'm not the type of person that goes and be like, oh, okay, the government doing this, but you got to, you got to see the truth, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, was it Neil? Yo. Did I get disconnected?
I still hear you, bro. Yeah, I think something. No, you didn't get disconnected, but I think.
Okay.
I think Set Haru did.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but like, it's just, okay, like we gonna forgive and we gonna forgive and we gonna forgive, and then what? We've been forgiving since it started. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
I mean, how much we gonna forgive? We gonna keep forgiving?
That's right.
But my thing is like, I'm trying to figure out how do we start. We need to try to figure out how we can build our own power. You know what I mean? Because we don't have no protection. We need our own protection. And that's what the Black Panthers was trying to do. You know what I mean? But the Black Panthers was shut down by the government quickly when they tried to figure out what they was trying to do. The Nation of Islam too. You know what I'm saying? That was shut down quickly because they fear Black people with power. You know what I'm saying? But in order for it to get done, it got to be done secretly. Can't nobody know about it.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. I heard your points there, brother. Anybody else want to chime in? Elder Remisu or Brother Nabat?
Is anybody there still?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, brother. I got a little technical difficulty. I don't know what's up with this thing, man, but it's all good. It's coming back online. But
the thing is, how do we get our own power? Like, we need our own government, and because we don't have no protection, you know what I'm saying? And it's like it's time to fight back. You know what I mean? Like, how do we get people? Okay, when Malcolm X had his movement, and he was influencing a lot of people until, what was it, like 1958, when the FBI tried to bring, or was it 1963? Anyway, the FBI tried to bring on charges upon him like he was doing something wrong with the Nation of Islam. But he was really just influencing Black people to stand up for themselves and to buy from the black market, and you know what I'm saying? The only buy from Black people. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, anytime we come together, that's a threat, man. Anytime Black people get on the same page and decide to come together, it's a threat to the United States because it's against the fabric of this country. See, this country was founded on racism. We gotta understand, when this country was founded, it was founded on racism, and also it's in every aspect of this civilization. So we think that the criminal justice system don't work. No, the criminal justice system is working. Do you know it's working exactly the way it's supposed to work? Because this is how they designed it to work. You know, the mass incarceration is working exactly how they want it to work because this is how it's designed to work. You know, when you're looking at the Justice Department or you're looking at the court system, this is the way they designed this. It's designed so African Americans get the short end of the stick. This is how all this stuff is designed. So, you know, it's just a matter of like, I guess we'll get there because we got solutions. I wanted to give everybody else opportunity to jump in because I did want to, because I was going to change the subject from the brother, the Cooper brother, and move on to another subject. But if not, we're gonna move right along. You know that the police officer that killed our brother, he has a history of violence and complaints as a police officer. And I was seeing that in 2008, he was a part of a murder of a suspect. Not only that, it was multiple calls that this police officer came on wherein people have been killed and like he has been a part of the investigations. So what I'm saying is it seems as if this is a rogue police officer that has had run-ins or incidents where suspects have been claiming that he had been using excessive force all along. And I wanted to talk about that because the fact that whenever as African Americans or whenever the police kill someone, the first thing that they want to do is assassinate their character. They want to pull up their criminal record. They want to show that they've been to jail or whatever they have done in the past. They always want to show that. But it seems like when it comes to police officers, they can have a record that's extensive from 2008 up into 2020 of accusations of them being aggressive and harming black folks or harming suspects and killing suspects, but yet they still allowed to be on the police force. So it seems, why don't they use that same judgment that they use when they want to assassinate our character as being the as the police officers do things to us? Why don't they use that same stuff and use that same judgment and apply to the actual police officers? You get what I'm saying? So it just makes you wonder, like it seems as if that this is this corruption is something that is in Minneapolis Police Department. It seems like it's a culture of this that's in that police department. I know a couple years ago, it was a Somalian police officer that shot a white woman, right? Now, it didn't take them but 2-3 days, and they locked that cop up. He got charged, he got arrested, and the whole 9 yards. But now here we go. We got this situation where it's all on camera, it's recorded, and it seems as if it is murder right before our eyes. And what is happening? It's stalled. Ain't nothing happening. So, like, what do y'all say? Y'all want to jump in?
Yes. The justice system is irrelevant. It's been irrelevant since the 60s. And this is something that I think that people have really been in denial about. That that has never, like you said, has never been a justice system that was true. You know, even the Constitution itself, we can go back to that where it talks about that us as blacks were labeled as 3/5 of a human being. So this country has never been true. Even with its foundation, well, I wouldn't say foundation because they stole this country. Uh, but the thing is, how do we deal with it right now? We have to deal with it in a real way because if we don't, the killings are going to keep happening. The mass incarceration is going to keep happening. The discrimination, the racial profile, and everything that we see that's going on now, it's going to continue to happen. So we have to deal with it in a real way. We cannot afford to wait at all. When you see something wrong, Do you sit back and watch that wrong? I think that you just as guilty if you just sit back and see it and don't do anything. You know, that's and I think we need to start uh this one of the ideas that I had in mind. I guess we'll get into that afterwards. But we have rights, and those laws that we do have, we have to take those laws and use those laws to push the courts all the way up the Capitol Hill back against the wall, and to actually cause them, just like someone. Let me just say that. Let me compare it like this: when someone get choked on meat, the first thing they do, one of the techniques is called the Hamlet maneuver. It's the Heimlich maneuver. So you squeeze that person until they cough up that piece of meat. And right now, we have to treat America the same way and do a Heimlich maneuver on America when it comes to the law. Okay, are you out for to help us as blacks? Or what are you doing? Or do you want us to choke? Because we need to use the law and let them face it. Look in the mirror. Hey, this is what's going on. These are the changes that we want to make. This is what we're gonna initiate for us and our protection. Do you have any objections to it? And if they have any objections, right then and there, that shows us where America loyalty lies. And if that's the case, if they do reject those things that we have that's legitimate, then they're telling us, yes, we want y'all to die. Our intentions are not pure for you guys. So then and there, it becomes a matter of injustice or war. And sometimes it takes war to bring peace. We can't always look, even people that is on a Christian level. I'm gonna speak to the Christians. It's written in Ecclesiastes. It's to everything there is a time and a season, and for every purpose under heaven, right? So it says there's a time to laugh, there's a time to cry, a time, for peace, and there's a time for war. And right now, truth be told, war have been declared on us, so we have to answer to war by war. Period. I mean, there's no other way. We've tried protesting, we've tried kneeling, we've tried sitting in the restaurants, we've tried sitting in the back of the bus. Nothing of no sort of those work. And when it comes to these people responding to us, Malcolm X said it well. Sometimes it takes bloodshed. Even the Bible that people use for you religious people, it says that a testimony is none effect without the testator is of death. So sometimes you had to have death in order for something to happen, and that's bloodshed. You can't get There's no other way around it. You can't be afraid anymore. Now it's not the time to just sit and not do anything. None of us is getting any younger. None of us, the world definitely ain't getting any better. It's not only here, but it's going on in other countries as well. Look what China did to our Nigerian brothers and sisters. With the coronavirus, they exodus them out of the land, something that they were paying mortgage and rent on. And regardless of them being a law-abiding citizens, they still did them dirty. Let's go back before then. Look what Israel did to the blacks, ran them out. But yet they said Israel is a sovereign nation, huh? Go figure. So don't tell me that there's the people put things in perspective what they want it to be. You can't say the law is right when the law is not right. You can't throw a rock and hide your hand and don't expect nobody to come and and be combative or seek revenge on you. Even nature itself teaches us that it will protect itself. If a mother lion seen her cub in danger, what you think that mother lion is gonna do? That mother lion gonna bite the hell out of you, and she gonna try to destroy you point blank, so you will never attack her cub again. And that message need to be sent every time a message need to be sent. Every time you attack a black person, there are going to be major consequences, not just small consequences. The law is irrelevant because now the officers are operating outside of the confines of the laws. That declares them as a criminal. That declares them as a terrorist. So you got to treat them as such. And there need to be major consequences, you know. So there are some things that I had in mind to do that, but our people, are we ready for a race war? It has nothing really to do with race, you guys. To some aspect, it's a war period against what's right and what's wrong. So I mean, race war, it is a race war to some aspect. You cause it the color of our skin, but it's more than that. It's about our history, where we come from, our capabilities. It's the fear that they have against us. So I mean, we can't just sit and not do anything. Now's the time to take action. It is definitely a call for action, And when I said not a race war, I mean, I'm not saying that it's not a race war. What I'm saying is that it's a whole lot of more other factors that's in that, because when you dealing with a group of people with less melanin, I was listening to a doctor, they do have, it's a type of disease. Racial hatred is a type of disease. It's a type of disease that bring forth fear. You have you're getting illusions because of your melanin, your minerals deficient, different things like that comes into play that plays with your mind. Think about it. Why would you fear a people that have less than you? Why would you fear people that came over here and didn't have anything, but yet they were made to work for free? Why would you still fear people, and why would you hate on them when you have more money than a little bit and we have very little? You have to think about that. Why is that? Why is that? See, you have to dissect the cause and what the effects are. You have to look at it and see what is it that they're hating. So that's my take.
All right. I guess don't nobody else want to say nothing right now. You know, I saw a picture of the police department because a lot of people saying why they didn't loot, why they looted everywhere but the police department, right? And I wanted to show y'all something. Also, they said that there's a video floating around of the guy who tore the AutoZone, who had the hammer and bust the windows out the AutoZone. There was a white dude walking around with all black with umbrella. And they got that, they recorded him, and they was asking him, was he a cop? Because, they always said that whenever we have these protesters, they have these provocateurs that be in the middle of the protest to start stuff, to get things cranked up. So there's a video floating of a, matter of fact, let me see. There's a video flow of a white man that's walking around with his hammer, and they asking him questions. And what's funny is he got an umbrella on, man. He got an umbrella on in the daytime, and it's not nighttime. I'm gonna share my screen, let y'all see this, man. Because it make you wonder, because from what I'm hearing, they were very peaceful. They wasn't like looting and stuff wasn't something that they were doing, but eventually they done it after they got how I want to say, they got a little bit fed up with the cops shooting the rubber bullets and stuff. But this the video right here.
Looks like, yeah, you guys can see the AutoZone.
I just came with a hammer and smashed the windows of the AutoZone.
Follow me, I'm gonna break you right now. You wanna go? What's up? Somebody hold my blunt. Hey, somebody hold my blunt. I'm gonna give you one. Hey. Are you a fucking cop? What's up? You came in and broke the fucking. What's up?
The brother asked me what you do that for. What you bust windows out for. You know what I'm saying? the brother like broke shit. So it's showing that like this ain't something that they were trying to do. Like this is an outside person coming in, tearing shit up. Oh, 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 I didn't want that. I didn't want that to be planned. But so you know, just make you wonder, man. They always said they have agent provocateurs that be out there starting stuff. And you know, that right there is a good example of somebody that's just going there to tear shit up, probably an anarchist, whatever they call, and motherfucker just whole purpose is to just to start some shit. Now, I'm gonna share one more thing, and then I want to talk about how the police department was actually protecting that cop. They was at his house, man. Do y'all see this picture right here? This is the Minneapolis police station. So they was there. You can look at the windows, busted out. Niggas throwing like, yo, they took it to the police department. I was told this anyway though, but like it's a confirmation, man. So like people can't say that they just round there. They took it everywhere. I mean, people are tired. They're fed up, man. But we gotta talk about how we are paying our tax dollars that pays these police officers salary. And they had the National Guard, the sheriffs, all these different police surrounding this man's house, protecting a killer house. And they took the stance that the protesters was wrong. That's the stance that the police were taking, that the protesters was wrong for protesting something that their fellow co-workers did. So let's look at the psychology of this. The actual people that have committed the murder or a colleague of theirs, now the people are protesting because of something your colleagues did, but y'all take the position that the protesters are the ones that's wrong. The protesters are wrong for being upset about something that your colleagues did. So what they do? They fire tear gas, which I thought was illegal. Again, in the war course, I thought you were supposed to be able to use tear gas, and they fire him with rubber bullets. So I mean, it's videos out where the cops on the roof just popping folks. You know, or on a car, they're just shooting, just hitting people with them rubber bullets. Like, this is what we're paying our tax dollars for. Why are we paying money to this? For what? This is for what?
See, brother said, Haru, this master you, man. You know, like, so we had to understand, man, like the situation that you in. Now, I'm not saying I agree with the cops protecting the dude's house. That's not what I'm saying. But you know, police job, and this is gonna sound real weird because like they don't protect black people when the black people get killed. But ideally, a cop, if somebody shot your brother and the cops know it, the cops, you know, and something were about to go down, they will go around that person's house and, you know, prevent anything from escalating because they don't want total chaos to ensue. So that point I understand. But them shooting bullets and rubber bullets and stuff like that, I don't understand that. I don't understand that. But if people around you and they're getting violent and you're in that situation, you also going to try to protect yourself. So I wasn't there, so you know what I'm saying, and I wouldn't be surprised if them cops just shot stuff in there just out of just doing something just cause. But one thing people have to understand is that a lot of times we get emotional, man. We get very, very emotional when something happens, and we become very, very reactionary. So our immediate inclination. Now, I'm not mad at nobody for tearing nobody's house down. I hope they bust every window. I don't care about that. But what I am saying is we have to learn not to be so Well, we are going to react. Let me take that back. We are going to react. We also must learn that before we get to that point, there's certain things that should already be taken care of. Point blank, period. And that's why the other night I was telling people, you have to become aware of where you are at all times. You have to become aware that there's 60 police officers out here with rubber bullets. And so that the tactics that you use has to change. You understand what I'm saying? You have to use different tactics because you're dealing with people who train, man. These people train. You out here with rocks and yelling in their face. Yeah, they're gonna shoot rubber bullets at you. And most of y'all ain't gonna do nothing about it. And so a lot of this is what I'm saying. A lot of times when somebody gets killed, we go out, we march, we protest, et cetera, et cetera. Now I know we coming from a place of emotion and people are, throwing rocks at the house, they're burning stuff up. And I'm not mad at them for that because this is how they feel, they're expressing it, they're tired of seeing it. But this here is only going to get us but so far. Because the police, no disrespect, they protecting their own. They doing what they supposed to do. They there. They soldiered up, guns ready. Get what I'm saying? They ready. But anytime it comes to this situation, our immediate inclination, man, is not to meet that with the same degree. But our thing is, well, let us protest, which has brought you nothing. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. It has brought you nothing. And so it becomes a thing of I have to change the tactics that I'm using. If these stores are in my neighborhood, I'm not going to tear up nothing in my neighborhood. Like somebody pissed me off, I'm not going home and tearing up my house. I live here. You understand what I'm saying? So then I have to come up with a tactic. With what I do, what's the best way to release my aggression to make the most dominant effect? You get what I'm saying? And once you're able to do that, then things change. I think Dick Gregory said you should have an insurance policy on every police. Have an insurance policy on them. I think that's what Dick Gregory said. He said every time they do something wrong, you take the insurance policy. And he said, is your hate towards me greater than the love that you have for your family? Get what I'm saying? Because if you want to continue to put food on your table with your family, then your hate for me, your love for your family will be more than what your hate is for me. I don't care about if you like me or not, but do you love your family more? You understand what I'm saying? Do you love your job more? Do you love your community more? And that's one thing us Black people have to understand, man, is that the way that we challenge our aggression. I don't know if this is making sense. The way that we're challenging our aggression, there's levels to it, and our level of expression can't always be to tear something down, because at the end of the day, this man's still dead, and tomorrow, I don't want to say it, but tomorrow it can happen again, and we'll go and we'll cause the same path of destruction, but there is no solution. You understand what I'm saying? And so, like the brother was saying, so okay, cool. So you want to go and kill somebody? You want to go and kill somebody Black just cause? Okay, cool. Not only gonna lose your job, but your entire pension gonna go to that person's family. Your family gets nothing, and you going to jail. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All these Black lawyers is going to school. Okay, cool. Y'all come to these people defense. Y'all come to these people that's people's defense. If you're a Black cop and you see these things going on, stand up for your brother or sister. Or if you see one of your homeboys who did nothing wrong getting punched in the face by a cop for no reason, put that phone down. Go help him out. You get what I'm saying? So makes sense what I'm saying or no?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, bro. It makes a lot of sense. I just want to tell you, Malik Zulu Shabazz has a $10,000 bounty on anybody that makes a citizen arrest on that police officer. Malik is offering $10,000 for anybody that makes a citizen's arrest on that officer. Master, I agree, man, on burning up. But see, with this wicked world that we in, it's only two things the white man really respect or that'll get their attention. That's money or the loss of life, right? So we really can't go to war with them like that. But what we can do is run that tab up. And that's what they're doing. Because if you look at the businesses that they tore up, I don't think it was too many mom and pop stores. You look at the AutoZone or the housing complex that got burnt down. They said that they was charging $1,500 to $2,000 a month for them condos, and they said they can't afford that anyway. So that was gentrification. It's like, but it was 2 nursing homes right beside everything and didn't get touched because they didn't touch the nursing homes because they were strategic. But I did see that they looted a school, man. That was kind of messed up. But it seemed like they was targeting certain things, but at the same time, only what they doing is running the tab up. They saying, how much is this life worth to you? Okay, y'all not gonna arrest these police officers. Y'all not gonna indict them. So we're gonna run the tab up. How much is this? How much is this life worth? And I'm not saying it's right nor wrong, but it's a tactic that's gonna get their attention because money talks. We're already in an economic bad situation anyway. So now you have total chaos. These police officers have to get paid. They working on extra long hours, so and they burning stuff up, they tearing stuff. This stuff gonna cost money. So I guess, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day, it's only it's only 2 things they really gonna respect. And that's money or the loss of life. So instead of trying to do the loss of life thing, I guess they decided, you know what, we're gonna burn some shit. And they got that from LA. They got it from LA. They burning stuff down, man. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but when people are frustrated and you can't necessarily fight the cops back with the type of firepower they have and what you have. I mean, you can, but you understand where you're gonna be taking it. So you can't necessarily fight that type of war back. So what else can you do though? Like at that time, people will get upset. They're gonna tear the police cars up. I mean,
valid point. Very valid point. Very valid. Very valid.
You're gonna do stuff like that, but I guess to them it's like, well, what else are we gonna do? Like, what else are we gonna do? I'm talking about at the moment. I ain't talking about strategizing later on, but at that moment. And you tired of them shooting at y'all and shooting rubber bullets and they hitting y'all with gas. Y'all been peaceful because the first day, if you realize, the first day there, they got gas and they was being hit with them bullets, but they didn't do nothing the first day. The first day they didn't burn nothing up or nothing. This stuff didn't hit the fan until that brother got killed. That young boy got killed, and after that young boy got killed, that's when things changed. Because it was like, oh, okay. Now only are y'all shooting at us and gassing us. Now y'all killing, because the word I got, they said it was a police officer that killed the young boy. He was shot in the back. But the news saying something different. But that's the word that I got last night. So I was told last night that it was about to get up, and I was told last night before you even saw it like that it was about to go down. But go ahead, Nabal. Let me be quiet. I see Nabal got his hand raised. Go ahead, brother. Jump in here.
No, you definitely had a good point, and that was a good question. That's pretty much what I was waiting for. I wanted to touch on some of the things that we could do in the moment. When these situations is happening, especially like when a so-called police officer had one of our people or just anybody pulled over or just unlawfully performing their duties or using excessive force or whatever. So I just want to share my screen real quick just to show something. Wait 1 sec. Okay, it says that you have a did you disable it? It's not I'm able to share my screen.
Oh, Setaru, if you scroll down and just hover over the share screen, there's an option that says allow multiple users to share.
Hey, Stuart, you on mute? I can't hear you. You on mute?
You can share now. You can share now.
Okay, all right. All right, let's. All right. All right, give me 1 second. All right, so y'all see my screen?
Yep.
All right, yeah. So this was actually shared by one of our students. She actually, he's into legal. He researched a few things. So here are 3 things that our people need to be aware of, especially in light of these type of situations. So it says here, an illegal arrest is an assault and battery. The person so attempted to be restrained of his liberty has the same right to use force in defending himself as he would in repelling any other assault and battery. And that's in the case State versus Robinson. So you see the reference there. Then the next one is each person has the right to resist an unlawful arrest, has the right to resist an unlawful arrest. In such a case, the person attempting the arrest stands in the position of a wrongdoer and may be resisted by the use of force, as in self-defense. That's the second major point. And that was State versus Mobley. Then you have, it says, one may come to the aid of another, being unlawfully arrested, just as he may where one is being assaulted, molested, raped, or kidnapped. Now, this is the key point. I want y'all to listen to this real closely, because the people, while we're standing around holding our cell phones, recording these police officers, so-called performing unlawful arrests. It's unlawful because we can clearly see that our people are innocent they're not mentioning any charges. They're not explaining why our people are being detained. They're just grabbing our people up and using excessive force and attempting to arrest them without charge. How often does this happen? And we stand there with our cell phones watching this when the law says that we have a right. One may come to the aid of another being unlawfully arrested, just as he may where one is being assaulted, molested, raped, or kidnapped. Thus, it is not an offense to liberate one from the unlawful custody of an officer, even though he may have submitted to such custody without resistance, right? And then you have these principles apply as well to an officer attempting to make an arrest who abuses his authority and transcends the bounds thereof by use of unnecessary force and violence, as they do to a private individual who unlawfully uses such force and violence. So I hope the family understands these things, because these are rights that we don't know that we have. You understand? In situations where, like in New York, a guy was literally thrown to the ground for not having on a face mask. There is no law against that. Regardless of what statute, the police chief may have passed down to these officers to tell people to force them to go in the house because of this and that. They have no authority to throw people down on the ground for not having a face mask and attempting to arrest them. In that situation, rather than myself, could have assisted that brother. Not only that individual brother could have lawfully resisted that arrest because it's unlawful. So just having this information, we need to become more confident, you know what I mean? In defending ourselves and standing our ground, and not necessarily and not being afraid. But it deals with educating ourselves. And this is pretty much what, I just wanted to contribute these type of things, because with this knowledge, we can we can potentially save many more lives. You see what I'm saying? That could, that would otherwise end up in deadly situations. So y'all tell me what y'all think about that.
Yeah, I like to say something dealing with what the brother just said. Sometimes we have to be real careful on how we try to interpret these laws. Okay, and the reason why I say that is this. See, I remember a few years ago, you had 4 undercover police officers who came to check on this Ethiopian immigrant, right, named Amadou Diablo. And he was reaching in his coat to pull out his wallet to show them his ID. And they unleashed a hail of bullets, over 50 bullets. They cut him down, and they went to court and they walked. They got away with it. They killed him dead. He didn't have a weapon or nothing, but they walked. And what I'm saying is this, just like Aubrey, the brother who was jogging. Now, these 2 white folks, they're going to be heard. They're going to be tried by a jury of their peers. Now, we know it's going to be almost an all-white jury. So no matter what we saw happen to Aubrey, because we don't have any representation in the jury pool, because a lot of us, have felonies or whatever, or we choose not to engage in the, political process, we lose out in the end because we don't have enough people to put on the jury to allow our people to get a fair shot at this thing we call justice. So yeah, it's written in law that when you see someone getting arrested, on chunked up charges, then it's really assault and battery. Yeah, that's what the books say. But when that officer write the ticket, he's going to write you a ticket for obstruction. He's going to say he was taking care of, Department of Business, and you intervened. He's going to lock you up for obstruction. Now, that would be cool if we had enough people to come to court, right, and sit on those jury pools, and we could slowly begin to reverse the process of what justice begins to look like for us. But until we begin to engage, because like you read Dr. Frances West Cressling's book, The ISIS Papers, she talks about, there's 9 levels of people interaction that we have to be involved in to be able to become effective in this society. And I understand. We have constitutional laws, we have constitutional rights, but until we begin to involve ourselves on the political process, it's gonna, them people gonna, they gonna walk. Now I'm afraid that's like in the case of Dr. York. You had a rogue lawyer turned judge who held the case on a holiday, in his hometown, where he was able to pick an anonymous jury to try him. I'm saying until we begin to have that kind of power on a political, level, we're going to continue to find ourselves in a revolving door phenomenon. That's what I'm saying. We have to, like the Jews did. When they said you can't do the social distancing in Brooklyn a couple of weeks ago, and the Jews wanted to bury one of their own, right? This old Jewish rabbi. Hundreds, a sea of them came out. And you had a couple of police that wanted to, arrest a few of these cats, and the police was real cautious of how they was handling it. They was handling this dude like on kid gloves, and if he was black and by himself, they would have messed him up. but because he had the community with him, you know, they kind of dealt with it a little differently. When they go to court together. And until we're ready to make those kind of sacrifices, we're going to be stuck in this quagmire of going back and forth and back and forth. So I think the conversation needs to be, you know, what are we going to do? How are we going to do this thing? Let's have a strategic plan on how we're going to move forward. Because if we don't, we're going to be coming back to meetings like this time and time again. Because for one, we haven't begun to realize that, you know, even religious people, when you go back and we forget, they say when Adam and Eve, you know, if you want to believe in Adam and Eve, they say when they committed the sin by eating the apple, you know, we know that's allegorical, you know, it's probably something else. But what happened was, you know, man was given, you know, he had to till the ground, right? And earn his keep. The woman, you know, she would have pain in childbirth. But he said to the devil, right, I will put enmity between your seed, the devil would have a seed, and the woman's seed. And enmity is ill will, ill hatred. So that means there's already a relationship that exists between the two of us that's going to be of ill will. We ain't never going to see eye to eye. We're never going to see eye to eye with them people. And until we begin to recognize that, then we can move forward, because we always find ourselves trying to apologize to them, right, for things that they have done, right, and, you know, turn the other cheek, get punched in the jaw. We have tried it their way so many times because we forget that they have a nature. And their nature is always going to be weak, wicked, and devious. And until we begin to realize that, then we're going to deal with them differently. You know, the conversation needs to switch on how are we going to address these people on a political tip. How are we going to get enough people to run for mayor? How are we going to get enough people to run for senator? You know, let's play their game. We in their house. We in America. Let's play their game. Let's put people in office, right? Political office, where we have power to, when things like this happen, like the black chief of police in Minnesota, he fired them lanes. The next day, he fired them. He ain't wait. He had that kind of power. And until we have brothers in those positions with that kind of power, we won't move. We won't move.
I'm sorry, brother Harold. Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry, I didn't cut you off.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, brother. I'm finished.
I was gonna say that a lot that both of you guys touched on, brother. I had wanted to talk about tonight because we mentioned this the night before last, and I brought up the subject matter about the Peacekeeper Initiative. And so there were 9 things that I wanted. It's funny, someone said that the ISIS letter talked about 9 things, but it's 9 things I actually wrote down that we could do, because observing how our people were going about, you know, burning the buildings. But some of the other things that I seen in these video footages were cops that had snipers on top of the roofs. They had helicopters in the air. And so you can't beat anybody when you're not strategically planning. You know, you can't make a statement, if I could put it that way, against the people that is actually oppressing you without a strategic plan and an innovative plan. So, and at the same token, it have to be in a way where it's not seen as a threat in the country, because the first thing that they want to do anytime we do unite, they want to actually label us as terrorists, gangs, the gang members, thugs, you know, and so forth. So it has to be in a way that it is very witty. And so I came up with it, and you guys can tell me what do you think of it. I'm gonna list the ways, some of the steps you already have mentioned. It's called the Peacekeepers Initiative. So we do have rights. The brother pointed out we have rights even according to the Second Amendment. You know, where we can even form a militia. So we have to take these laws that they have and we have to put the United States back against the wall. You're either gonna allow us to do right and you're gonna do right by us, or it's gonna be war. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. You know, but here's the step one is that we got to have our own people to have firearm training and martial arts training. You know, they got to have those, firearm training and martial arts trainers, because they look for us to be unorganized, throwing bottles, throwing bricks. That's nothing. That's no effect. These guys, as someone said, they got bullets, they got guns, they got all kind of military equipment. So we need to be able to be in a place where we have bulletproof vests. Everybody, can you imagine that all those people that's out there in the protest, can you imagine the reaction then if everybody was equipped?
I'm sorry.
Can you imagine if everybody was equipped with bulletproof vests, helmets, and protective gear, and they were coming up to the precinct then? Can you imagine the nightmare would be upon their face? You know what they would say to themselves? Oh, I'm not dying for this. I'm not dying. Not, if that stuff would stop. That's a
Mm-hmm.
second thing. I'm getting a bad feedback.
Hey, can I put your phone up, please?
Okay, there we go. So also skill set and communication. That's another thing because communication matters. Do you not know they got communication even with the officers that was surrounding that guy house? That guy, believe it or not, he was wearing a hat that said "White, make America white again." He was in the Trump rally, So these are things that people don't look at. It's all about communications. They're controlling the media that paint that bad picture of us. We need our own way of communicating, our own media, other than even Facebook. Other than Facebook, because there are posts that they allow to have that degrades Black people actions, but you'll never see where you see a whole lot of white people in the Walmart parking lot, how they tear down buildings and how they turn cars upside down and a lot of things. And they say, oh, they just outrageous teenagers. They just acting out of frustration. But when it come to us, they label us as super predators, as Hillary Clinton have tried to label us. So number two would be skill sets and communication. Again, number one, firearm and martial arts training, skill sets and communication. Number three, air support. We can't come out there there's no way that we can be effective without air support. They got helicopters watching. Okay, let's go out there and let's go against those helicopters. We need jets. We need B-52 stealth jets. We need whatever we can get, and with that said, it brings me to number four, funding. We, as Sat Haru said, we paying our tax dollars to them where they got all this equipment. We need to protest against paying and refuse to pay our tax dollars in these cities and start directing our tax dollars to our own security systems. So we got to start because we have a legitimate reason now. We have a legitimate reason that we could come forth. It's not so they can't say this is something just thought out of the blue. We have to do checks and balances. So funding, our own banks, because you can't do nothing without money in the first place. Legislation. We got to approach legislation with the intent. Hey, this is a legitimate reason why we can bring the Peacekeeper Initiative to power. Because right now we got cops that are rogue. They're infiltrated by the KKK. They are infiltrated through hate groups. So we need to bring the Peacekeepers Initiative straight to court, to the Supreme Court. If the Supreme Court turned it down, then the message is clear. They just want to continue to allow Black people to die. Specialists in weaponry. We're living in an innovative world. We got to be more innovative. So people that specialize in weapons, we can't go out there with just guns. These people got rocket launchers, they got bombs. They got everything. Infiltrating the justice system. The gentleman, Mr. Ramsey, he brought up the you know, how we need more judges and lawyers and so forth. That's very true. Because guess what? Decisions have to be made, but how can they be made and justified through people that's not interested in us? You know, and these people have places of power. You know, right now we dealing with two crooks that people gonna have to vote for, either or for Biden or for Trump. And neither one of them are good choices at all. So we have to start, you know, supporting people that are legitimate, people that's not being paid by special interest groups. We have to start finding ways, whether it be soliciting funding from artists, whether it be soliciting funds from these rich people that are not coming out. We need to solicit them if they have an interest. When they start realizing, oh, is your people getting killed too? You black, that don't separate you because you got money. Hey, you better donate for the greater cause. We need to start soliciting the funding for this. Religion, you know, the mindset of people that's not speaking out. Out of all of this, I haven't heard the first preachers come and say anything. What are they gonna tell you? There's nothing that they can say. There's nothing that if I was everybody in America and I speak to you black people, if you're calling yourself Christians and your preacher is telling you to turn the other cheek, you need to tell them to go straight to hell, point blank, because that's telling you not to protect your household, and you less more of an infidel, according to your scripture, if you don't protect your household and they overtake the strong man. Okay, now and so we also have to teach our people to love and respect each other and hold them accountable. You know, that goes along with the religious category, because we got our things, they're abducting our women. We got to have this group, the Peacekeeper Initiative, so we can go and capture these men that are kidnapping our women. You know, they're selling and prostituting our women. They're taking their organs out. We have to have this. We have, and the government is not sending anybody after them. So this is a legitimate reason for this group. Last but not least, but most importantly, every single black person in America need to know their history. They need to know exactly where they come from and their culture. Because without that, you don't know any. I'm sorry, something.
He said we gotta get him out of here.
You know, what happened? What happened?
I think he might got booted or something. I think not only him. I think Set Haru got
I'm
kicked out.
gonna say something. You know what I mean? I hadn't been. You know, I've been quiet, just listening. And you know, I just want to say, you know what I mean? I'm not the sharpest tool in the shit. You know what I mean? I ain't got a lot of big words and shit to say, but I might cuss a little bit or whatever. But I agree what he was saying 100%. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that these black churches that we get, these black Christians, the churches that we get, you know what I mean? That they're supposed to be the leadership of, you know, the black communities. You know what I mean? Maybe, you know, I feel like that maybe we need to get, maybe the word to them or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, or try to, you know, or something, you know, with maybe the churches, you know, to unify all the black churches. You know what I'm saying? You know, the thing that black people have is we our biggest enemy. Like I said, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We our biggest enemy. We like to go against each other. You know, we want to be in competition with each other. You know what I mean? When I look at the news, and I don't see black on white crowd. I don't see nobody going out into the suburban neighborhoods and killing the white people. You know what I'm saying? I see black people killing black people. You know what I mean? And not saying that anybody should be killing anybody. You know what I mean? But these black churches that's getting the money, that's collecting tithes, you know what I mean? That's how I feel like that what he was saying, like he said, we have to have money. you know. And if you can go to church and you can pay your tithes for a belief, then you can pay your tithes for a movement too. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying?
And I'm back, brothers. I'm sorry, for some reason it disconnected me. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. I'm sorry about
Okay.
that. I got disconnected for some reason. But the last thing I was saying, and I'll make it quick, was to teach the truth about our history. You know, and again, we got to teach our people to love being black. You know, black people is the most loving people that I've ever seen in my life. Regardless of popular belief, black people are the most loving people. We don't go out killing people. We don't go out shooting up churches. You never seen a black person going out shooting up white churches. You never seen black people doing misjudgment, a black judge, you know, giving off wrongful judgment to a white person. Let's think about this for a moment. But we have to teach our own people to love each other. You know, the churches, I'm going to tell you something. These preachers, 99.5 of them, all they love is that money coming to them. They teach you not to fear, but yet they teach you to go and follow peace with all men. And that's not practical. That is not practical. That's selling pipe dreams that was never attended. See, there's a difference between religion and spirituality. You know, I learned the difference. I grew up as a Christian, 19 years old, and I wasn't a pew warmer. I ministered to plenty of people. I have pastor's license. I have minister license. And I was one that did these things. But I learned different. I learned to broaden my horizons, because if you're a true truth seeker, you're going to learn what's right and what's wrong. And truth seeking, you're going to be practical. You're going to find evidence. Your actions are going to be made righteous just by, you know, through the universe. It's going to be made righteous. Everybody, no one will be able to put a bad label on you and say that you was wrong by the things that you done. You don't have to go to church to know right from wrong, people. You know, you don't have to go to church to know right from wrong. That is already in us. You know, we have principles. Our belief. Now I'm Kemet, you know, so our belief, we had beliefs way beforehand. See, there's a lot of correction that's got to be done from the inner circle before we can even approach the outer circle. You know, but we can do both of them simultaneously because there's a great need. We can't afford to wait. You know, so we have to do everything that I was talking about, everything from firearm martial arts training, skill sets and communication, air support, funding from banks, you know, legislation, specialists in weaponry, infiltrating the judicial system, you know, places of power from a religion standpoint, getting them out of that slave mentality because they're already captive, you know. Loving being black, respecting our queens. Don't, you know, instead of seeing them women shaking their ass and listening to all this music that don't make any sense, that promotes violence among ourselves, we need to start cutting it off. We need to start telling people, hey, teaching them, hey, is this what you want? Suppose this was your daughter out here degrading herself, shaking her ass, you know? Suppose that was your daughter and men looking at your daughters and exploring your daughters. And they doing that and knowing that there's other pedophiles out here that will kidnap them. These are the things that we need to get in details. Us men have to take charge and do this. Because one thing I learned about our people, and if you notice of them protesting, if there's someone that's legitimate and they're very vocal, they're truthful, people will follow them. But we need multiple leaders. We just don't need one leader because they keep picking that leader one by one. But we need multiple leaders.
Yeah, you have a good plan, brother. I mean, it's a good plan, and needs to be put on paper. But it's a slow, tedious process, man. Because when you talk about the women not needing to degrade themselves. See, when we establish our own culture, a dress code would be a part of that culture. See, so we don't have to tell them. We can show them this is the way that we live. right? But you know, when we and I heard you mention history, you know, teaching the correct history, we got to go back, and sometimes we may even have to go back beyond Kemet because you know Tar Seti predated Kemet. You know, we go back to ancient Nubia. You know, because you know the South always came, to look out for Kemet when Kemet was falling into the hands of invaders. So when we go back and we teach our history, right, we got to go from there because if we're teaching these Abrahamic religions, we're gonna be going back and forth dealing with belief. And our people, we didn't live by beliefs. We were in knowing. We knew things. You know, we dealt with knowledge. We dealt with the science of nature. And until we get back there, we're going to continuously have these problems, man, because that's what religion breeds. It breeds ignorance. If I have to believe in something, it's only because I don't understand it. You understand? So it's a whole lot of superstitions. We got to get away from that. We got to put our crown back on, like our forefathers, and we gotta walk in sync, in harmony. You know what I mean? Where it's like dealing with telepathy. I don't have to say anything to you. I can look at you, and we had that kind of a conversation going on. We need to get back there because we were there at one time. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And because they feared us, they removed the language, they removed the culture, so that we couldn't make sense, out of what they were doing to us. Now we have fallen so far in the quagmire of not knowing that sometimes we get defensive with our own brothers when they begin to teach us the basic things that our forefathers stood for, which was ma'at.
And you know what? So, you got my attention, Mr. Raps. I'm trying to pronounce the word right. Mr. Ramasu, is that right?
Ramesu.
You got my attention because you said that was something older than Kemet. Let me tell you, I'm a very humble brother. I'm always out to learn. There's no pride with me. I'm a truth seeker. So if you can, once we change contacts, I'm very interested to learn what you have to say, about that, man, because I believe like you got to go back to the roots that, and something that predates Kemet. I want to know about it. And I say that out of humility because I want to learn. I'm still learning, and I still want to continue to learn. You can never learn enough, So I just wanted to point that out while you were talking.
Okay, no doubt, brother, no doubt. You have to remember, Nama, he kind of tied the North and the South together, and that's when your first dynastic period began. But they were dynasties prior to Norma. There were dynasties much prior, and Tar Seti was one of them. The ancient kingdom of Tar Seti that was in Nubia. The Nubian pyramids are much older than those that are in Kemet. The thing about Kemet, they're much they built on a grander scale. You understand? But if you look at if you go back to Nubia, you see they're much older. They have the Medunetta, all that.
Now, isn't that a beautiful thing to see that the elder is teaching the younger? I'm a young man compared to my man here, and I think it's a beautiful thing. I would love to talk with you. So for the show over, I know we are a little bit off topic, but I definitely want to get your contact.
No doubt, brother. No doubt.
Yes, sir.
No doubt. Yeah. That's all I have, though.
Yes, sir.
I wonder, is Haru, is he still on?
So my thing is, how do we get our black people? Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
How do we get our black brothers and sisters to love themselves when sometimes I'm afraid to even go near certain black brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying?
Well, like, if you set a goal, Xavier, if you set a goal for people and they feel like they're part of something, then they'll feel like they matter. Because right now, no one think about when Martin Luther King and Malcolm X was here, they were part of a movement. And being part of that movement, everybody was able to participate. And so they weren't joking around. Every individual family was telling each other, hey, you represent my household. You gonna straighten up. They were raising their kids to be true men and women. So there has to be a beacon. There has to be, and that beacon, again, I'm gonna work on this. I'm gonna work on getting the paperwork straightened out for the Peacekeeper Initiative. I'm gonna work on that tomorrow, putting that together. And if we can talk to Seharu, that way once I'm done, because it has to be an assumed business name, or however it's gonna be done. I just got to do a little research to see how we can address this to even get it going. I know we have plenty of rights, but just how to get it into legislation and so forth. So I'm gonna put this out there, and we need everybody to really rally it under it. I don't care about being no leader. That's not my goal. So I don't care to be the president of the thing. I'll be the one just put it together. It'll be a collective thing where the brothers, if we had to do the Emancipation Proclamation or Declaration of Independence, where all the brothers are signing a signature on it, that's what it need to be. It need to be multiple people coming together, putting their signature, and that could be everybody. Of course, we needed to be organized. So I mean, and I don't mind, like I said, I mean, if it take me doing a lot of legwork, then so be it. But we need more people coming up, stepping up to the plate to help do these things, because there's only one person, it's not going to work. But I will work on it tomorrow and set an appointment with Seharu when we can get back up here. I can show you guys what I have. I like to get with the gentleman. I'm trying to figure out who had the actual laws, those laws in place. 'Cause I want to take a look at those too. Let me see, because I did a little screenshot of them that had, one of the laws was State versus Moby, Adam versus State, and Jones versus State. Who had those laws, brother?
I can't. I can't think of the brother's name. I think he left the group. I think he left the group.
Hey,
yeah, I'm gonna have to leave. I'm gonna have to leave too to plug my phone in.
Can you send me the screenshots? Whenever the show in.
Yes. Yeah, and that's how I need to find out who was it. Well, we got it's videoed up here, recorded.
Can I be heard?
Yes.
Yeah, that was me. I want to make sure. Yeah, that was me. That's brother in the back.
Oh, brother in the back. Okay. We we Facebook friends. I believe we are, right?
Yeah. So like I said, brother, you're not in this alone. Together. It's a collective thing. So what we want to do is we want to bring our collective minds together. Whatever focus or knowledge to contribute to make this. It's not necessarily
Absolutely. Well, I hit you up on Facebook. And if you can give me your available time tomorrow, we can get together. And if more brothers, if we can do like a little group chat to get together and start planning some things strategically, and start soliciting other people to come in, that'll be great.
Exactly. So that's pretty much what we are working towards. So yeah, definitely hit me up. We'll set up a date.
I wanted to ask one more thing. Like, how do we start our own, basically, like I was saying earlier, our own government? You know what I mean? Like, for instance, how do we fund, to the point where basically we got our own black market? We don't have to spend with the government, the United States government. Because I feel like that, if we can fund, if we can get our own money, you know what I mean, to make it to the point where we get our own government, you know what I mean, our own money, you know what I'm saying, our own stores, our own shopping malls, we don't have to spend with them, then we'll make a force, you know what I mean, we'll make a major impact, you know what I'm saying? So, that's a big question I always thought about, like, if we don't have to go spend with the Iranians when we go to hotels and the Chinese people when we go to eat, you know what I mean? Or if we don't have to go to Taco Bell, we don't have to go to Burger King, we spending with nothing but black owned businesses, you know what I'm saying? Our own black market, you know what I mean? How do we accomplish that? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You want to touch on that, bro?
I got something I want to share with you because I've been working on that. I also have been working on because in 2010 I started a new television network. But let me just share this with you in just a moment here. Hold on, bear with me one moment. Oh, come on. I'm trying to get it so it'll show, but it's not showing. I will get to it if someone else want to kind of talk right now while I look for this real quick. That'll be
Peace,
great.
peace, everybody. I came in late. Ride by to everybody. Xavier, appreciate you showing up, brother.
Yeah, it was it's all good. What was it, Nail?
Yeah, man.
You came in late, huh?
Yeah, I came a little late. But I'm here, man. And I knew I missed a whole lot and everything, but I got in from Minnesota that they say a cop might have set them fires, brother. Started them fires over in Target and stuff. I heard a cop did that. Answer for something, something like George Soros, something. But they said a cop was seen fleeing the scene, whatever. That's what I heard. As far as the ladies on Minnesota. And yes, we got their brother get connects with these guys. Remizu, Harold, brother Nabat, Master U, Trueborn got the gold investment. Stay in touch with us, man. I'll be sending you meetings from now on out on Zoom and bring some people that's serious, man. Some serious that want to learn. That's about progression, real progression. But that Harold got stuff up there, man. So I'm gonna go ahead. There you go. I'm gonna go ahead and just a piece to everybody. I'm here just here to listen.
Yeah, this is what we talking about right here.
Yeah, I see that.
He looks like a police officer.
Yeah, that's what I saw earlier. Yep.
But yeah, I just wanted to say that as far as having our own money, our own our own government, I think that those established and these are things that it's multiple things that we need to work at, and we're pretty much working towards those things, but we're so divided. You know what I mean? We just need to bring our organizations together. You know, we have that. You know, like the Moors, you have the Nation of Islam, you have the Nation of God's Earth, you have, the Nuwapians, you have the Nuwabians, you have the Sabians, you know what I mean? You have a plethora of American tribes, you know what I mean? You know, and all of us got a different focus, you know what I mean? Things that we have to contribute if we came together, we would be a powerful force. say that our nation, the United Sabia nation, we already have our own government. It's not where we would like it to be, you know, because our master teacher has been taken from us, who is our president, you know, of our nation. So we're a nation under the what he has established is all of us. It wasn't just for Sabians. His mission was to, you know, to sovereignty, to give us back our own land, our own culture, our own language, you know, which he succeeded in doing. It's just that, you know, we need to come together, like I stated, you know, with these other organizations, adamant, you know, in teaching us is to do our best in organizing. That's pretty much what we're here to do. So, you know, we have our land, we have land, but we need to cultivate this land. We need to come together and support each other. You see what I'm saying? And work, our builders, the architects, the electricians, and really contribute. You know, with that, like I said,
Can I be heard?
Yeah.
Yes, I can hear. I think
Okay.
someone might have went off.
Yeah, I think it went off.
Well, brother, I'm gonna I wanted to point something out here. Okay, here we go. All right. So let me just share this. I just wanted to share this to you guys. This was one of the things that I wanted to do here. It's called a World Online Mall. Can everybody see that?
Yeah, I can see.
It's the home of the new Black Wall Street. This is where Black people can do businesses, buy and sell their goods across not just the United States, but across the world. So if you got a taste where, you know, where you want to buy clothes from Africa, you can buy your clothes or any other products from Africa or any other nation where there are Black citizens are. So this is the new home of the Black Wall Street. It's called the World Online Mall. As far as television, I developed this. It's called Your Time TV Network. It's Black Unapologetic Television. So these are two things that I've been working on because the media have been crooked and has been portraying us as criminals or we have inferior parts of movies. So we need to get in a place where we have, you know, movie roles and things like that where we're dominated in, not looked at that we got to be subject to dress up as a woman, you know, if we want to make and people laugh, you know, so those type of things and degrade ourselves. These are the type of things that I had in mind. Again, that's Your Time TV Network, is Unapologetic Black Television, and then there was the World Online Mall. As you can see, this was the home of the new Black Wall Street. And if you look at the dates here, you'll see this was done in 1/27/2018. So this is nothing that I just came up with. This is something I've been working on quite a while.
So
just wanted to point that out to you.
Black Wall Street, the new Black Wall Street, huh?
Right. This will be the home of the new Black Wall Street. You know, they got Amazon and all these other places. Why not have our own power? Because they attacked the Tulsa, Oklahoma, right? They attacked 300 businesses and injured over 6,000 people. So they got them in just one place. But what if you were all over the place and they didn't know who you were buying online? Then there you see there will be funding the funding that will be gathered, you know, whether it be through commercials and so forth, it'll be gathered to be put back into the Black community.
Okay.
Same thing about Your Time Television. network. You know, we need our own media. We need our own everything, because we don't have anything really. We got TV One and BET, and I don't think that BET
BET
is
is not
totally
for black
owned by a black person.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the Oscars and everything, well, fuck they Oscars. You know,
Exactly.
they choose who they want to. You mean to tell
Fuck
me we
Walmart,
got to be
fuck
grateful
Kroger's.
because they give us one? Yeah. You know, so let's have our own television network.
You know, just to chime in, they got their own. It's crazy the name that you use because we got our own social media. It's called it's our time now. Our
Mm-hmm.
HOURTIMENOW.com. You can go there. It's online. It's a social media platform that's for black people, owned by black people. And that's what that is. I like that. I like what you showed right there, brother. I like that. I think that's something that is very achievable.
Thank
Um,
you.
if we all decide to put our head together and make it work, I think that can work, and it's a step in the right direction of which where we need to go. Um, you know, but back to this beast out here that we've been dealing with. My question though was I wanted to ask him about this, but I forgot about the laws of protecting yourself. My whole question was, how do the Patriot Act play into this? Because you know the Patriot Act changed the law and gave the police a lot more power than what they originally had.
Mm-hmm.
So I wondered how did that played into them laws that he was reading, because them laws is based off the Constitution. So I just was wondering how did that play into that as far as that's concerned.
Well, I can't really speak too much on the act, but as far as as far as I know, it dealt more so with surveillance. It did change a lot of citizens. It's definitely not one of them. Also yourself from awful arrests. All of these.
Yeah, but I'm saying, didn't the Patriot Act expand the rights of the police officer?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Did you want to go in on,
No, it's okay. I just had that question about it because I know that Tupac down when he was in Atlanta, he used that and got off because I think it wasn't him, it was somebody else that they was trying to arrest, or was it him? And he shot the police. And he got off on that law because it was an unlawful arrest or something. He got off on it. I remember that. But you know, I just think that it's something to look into, man, because you know, human nature should stop us from letting somebody do some of the stuff that they do. Like that should just be human nature that we're not gonna sit here and look at it, regardless of what a constitution right or anything is. It's just like human nature should be like, you ain't gonna kill this man in front of me. Like, nah. But that's that yo. Do anybody got anything in the add? It's like I dipped out and came back to a whole nother show. Hey, hey, Harold, if you I would like for us to have a show based upon that stuff you was presenting, where you can go further into detail about all that.
Absolutely. I'm just in motion right now, so that's why I had to come up off the screen. But definitely, we could schedule the show. I was gonna get with you anyway on it. And tomorrow, or we can follow up. I can follow up with something with you later on.
Yeah, but I think, and you can add that add everything into. I think that'll be powerful, man. That'll be powerful. Elder Ramesu, you still here?
I think he said he had to charge his phone or something.
Oh, he was charging his phone.
But Brother Xavier, man, I'm glad you made it, brother.
Yeah. After I seen what I seen, I always feel like that everything you post on Facebook, I feel it, you know what I mean?
Right.
And after I seen what I seen, boy, I was mad. I was ready to go to war, you know what I'm saying? Like to the point like where like I'm ready to die for these, you know what I mean?
Hey, X. Xavier,
yeah, because
tell the boys how you met me, man.
I was in jail.
Yeah.
He was a correctional officer.
Yeah.
He was a correctional officer. You know what I'm saying?
I put you on
on some crash dummy shit like, on the way to Memphis, I like tweaking up here in the VA and shot at some white folks and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And was on the run and shit, and I pulled a gun on the Greyhound bus and went to jail. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I paid my lawyer and shit. He beat that shit. But yeah, when I seen that shit, I was mad. I was like, I'm ready to go to war. You know what I'm saying? But I know violence is not the answer. So, I just wanted to see, what's the solution? You know what I mean? Because it's beyond marching and protesting. That ain't gonna get us nowhere. We've been doing this since the 50s. You know what I mean? But I talked to Brother Neil in jail, and he made a lot of sense though. You know what I mean?
I was putting you on any one, right?
Yeah.
They couldn't stand me, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, he was cool though, But when I got out, I just kept in contact with him because I felt like he had a good spirit. You know what I mean? He believed in what I believed in. You know what I mean?
Facts.
And but I feel like shit. These motherfuckers got the KKK. We need to start us a black KKK. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
Well, sometimes violence is necessary. So don't just violence is necessary sometimes. And war is just that, violence. So sometimes violence is necessary. So I know that. And sometimes violence can be avoided, but then sometimes you can't avoid violence. Sometimes you got to meet them where they at, man. And because if not, just like a bully gonna keep bullying you, man, until you stand up to that bully. You got to stand up to them. And a lot of times bullies will bully you just to see if you're afraid to fight. Like when you go to jail, you talked about you was in jail, niggas will try you and they just trying to see if you're afraid to fight or not. When you locked up, like you can't be afraid to protect yourself. And that's the same thing in life. Like right now we being bullied on the block, man. They bullying. Not on the block, they bullying in the state. They bullying in the country. You know what I'm saying? But I like the elder said, we have to be in positions that if they do go to court or if they do get charged, they have to go before a judge and go before 12, that we have people that are in position to hold these folks accountable for their decisions. So that means you have to have people that's registered to vote and people that's willing to serve on these boards, and also be willing to, do that jury duty. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's a whole lot, man. It's a whole lot with it. But I thank everybody for coming up here tonight. We gonna cut this thing short. I thank everybody for coming. We can do it again another day, but what I do want to do is give everybody an opportunity to close out, make their final statement, and let people know where they can find you at.
I'm gonna go ahead because I'll keep it short. I'm gonna go ahead and go first this time. Peace, everybody. I came in late. Forgive me for that. I enjoyed what I heard, and we're gonna stand together. Brother X, go to Xavier, go to Facebook and follow these brothers, man. Seth Haru. You're already friends with me. Everybody on this page is basically on my Facebook friend list, man. Go to the bot. If you want to know some knowledge and stuff, suggest you, man. Definitely go to Brother Remisso, okay? Remisso Amin Ray. And keep up with us, man. I'm gonna be sending you every time we do meetings, I'm gonna send you the information, okay? And I'm you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you the information every time we have a meeting on here. I'm gonna send you the information, bro. And anybody that's serious, man, put them on.
Y'all hold on.
Make sure you do that.
Hey, look, y'all hold on. Let me show y'all something. Oh, let me show y'all something. Let me share my screen. Let me show y'all what's going on right now. Hold on.
Peace, Brother Harold.
Come on, Wale.
Rabat.
They burning the precinct up, y'all. You see it? They burning the precinct up right now.
They burning the police precinct up?
Yeah, that's the police precinct that's burning up right now.
Good.
Well, hold on. I want to show y'all something else. Hold on.
Well, I feel like they need to do that.
Hold on. If I can find it. But that's the precinct that's burning up right there.
That's the actual precinct where the officer worked at?
Yeah. I told you they here we go. They look, listen, it's a different world over there.
They need to burn his fucking house down.
Years. It's so many names that I can't even just pull them up right now. So much going on. So much. It's crazy, man. No one want to be held accountable. So the people holding everybody's accountable. You see what I'm saying? No one want to be held accountable. So now the people was holding everybody accountable. You see what I'm saying? What they say? If you ain't standing with us, you standing against us. You hear me? I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. I was in a group of people. A group.
Hold on, y'all.
You know what? I feel like I'm a soldier. I need to be on the front line. I need to be up there.
Hold on. Let me see.
I'm ready to fly to Minnesota so I can get involved.
All right, let's see if they show this.
They just push people to the edge. They don't push people over the edge, man. And we're not taking that shit. Point blank. They have to learn. We're peaceful people, and they just kept fucking with us. So now they got to pay the piper. I don't feel bad. One matter of fact, I'm rejoicing. I could get out my motherfucking car and shout right now.
Me too.
Yeah, but hold on, let me go back. But the fact, you know what I'm saying, I just wanted people to see the fact that they are the fact that they
Nobody can until you start fucking shit up. Now everybody want to say, oh, y'all wrong. Y'all this. Y'all need to do this. Y'all need to do that. Where was y'all at when we was doing this and we was doing that? Where was y'all comments then? Where was y'all support then? Now look at this shit. See, but now we wrong. But the officers who've been killing innocent men, they never been wrong. But now everybody else wrong for this. If you don't stand with us, you stand against us. People tired. No one had, like, at what point do you say enough is enough? Where y'all at? Who's standing with us? No one's standing with us, huh? Y'all just gonna watch on Facebook. Stand with us, bro. We don't need you out here. We just need your support. Share.
I'm standing with you, bro.
Post. Let motherfuckers know what's going down in the city. Let people know we in distress. Let people know we need help. Let people know we need assistance. Someone got to help us. Who gonna help us?
Bro.
We tried to help ourselves. We tried to help ourselves. You feel me? We was being right. We was doing right. At least I thought we was. I don't know. At least I thought we was. I believe.
All right, let me stop sharing. But you know
what, Stud? I mean, you know what, Saharu? My thing is, you ain't heard Trump saying nothing about the police officer when they kneel to kill my man. So ain't no need for his motherfucking ass to go and dispatch no fucking National Guard. None of that shit. They need to get the people. They need to get the people in DC and get his ass too.
Let me correct you. That Trump did say something.
Oh, what did his motherfucking ass say? I want to know.
Trump, here it go right here. That Trump said that they need to go, they need to arrest him. Trump, he made a statement.
The president said they need to be arrested.
Hold on, let me I'm gonna have to hook up to my speaker call. I'm driving and trying to be safe about driving. Hold on one moment, I want to hear what you had to say.
No, I'm driving too. I'm driving too, bro. Hey, but I stand with them brothers up there, though. You know.
What you say, Stuart? What you say, Haru?
Well, do y'all see that? That's the police building on fire, bro.
Good. Amen. If they want to get Christian, amen. That's justice served. Motherfucker, I feel them, man. I feel the fucking fire. It feels so fucking good. Every piece of fire that burns, it makes my emotions feel great.
Hey, Saharu, we were talking to the old boy from Minnesota last night, Sean. You seen the young boys running? They ain't playing, man.
I was wondering where was Sean at tonight, man. You know,
Sean, he out there in the battlefield, bro.
But you know, like this is. But let me stop sharing my screen, man. But see, we gotta understand. All right, let me stop sharing. Have I stopped sharing my screen? We gotta understand the climate that we're in. We're in a different climate now, y'all.
Yeah, they don't care about us, man.
No, what I'm saying is they have pushed us to a point where listen, you got to be with the shits to burn the police precinct down.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You once you start taking it to the police precincts, you with the shits, man. Like you don't push people to the point yo, we might have to pack our shit up and go to Minnesota because
I'm telling you, I feel the same way though.
Because you can imagine what they're gonna do next. Like they're gonna bring the National Guard down on and man, I'm telling you, man, I can't sit around and let them mass massacre people, man.
Oh hell no.
Right. You know, and so you know, matter of fact, I'm not gonna let y'all close out. We're gonna talk, but I'm gonna stop.
I'm off Wednesday. I'm off Wednesday, man. So hey,
Hey,
let me
look,
know.
I thank everybody for showing on YouTube. We'll check y'all later. We'll catch y'all at the next show. Peace.